Hey, back again. Another movie. I'm Oz. This is Movies with an Aspie. And this film is called About Time. Rachel McAdams and domhnall Gleeson. This is this is a really cool movie. I love this movie. I like movies that have just a little touch of fantasy, supernatural. Wow. Sorry. That little touch of something otherworldly. I really like movies like that. And this is one of those, About Time. And it's the story of this kid. He turns 21, and his father sits him down to explain to him that the men in their family, when they turn 21, have this gift, this superpower, or power. Wow. Okay. Anyway, sorry about that. They can travel back in time and change things. So, comes with good side, comes with bad side. So, kid, it takes him a while to for that to sink in, for him to get it. But the dad tells him what he needs to do and how to do it. And the kid does it. And yeah, it's true. It works. So there are some great moments. He's just found out he's got this ability. His sister has a friend that's coming to stay with them for the summer, and he really likes the friend. So there are all of these moments where the guy is, I don't want to say klutzy, but he just, he's not suave. He's not, cool. He's a little off. And there's this one scene where they're outside, and the sister and the friend are sunbathing, and I think he's reading a book. I think mom and dad are over at the table, and the girl that's visiting, she asks him to come and put suntan lotion on her. And so he's very excited, but he's trying to be real cool about it, nonchalant. Anyway, he goes over and he starts doing it, and he somehow splashes, he's like squirting the bottle, gets it all over her. I mean, just tons of. So he runs in the house to do his little move, to go back in time, and he starts it all over. And he's sitting back in the chair, and then now he's gonna do it right. I think he does like 2 or 3 times, but it's just, you can see him. He's getting the hang of it and how to do it, and so he goes. How does he? He goes to London. They live in the country. I think it's London, the big city. Because he's graduated from college. And he's sent to live with a friend of his dad's, but this guy's a piece of work. He's a playwright. I think he's a playwright. And he's got a play that's opening. And the kid and his friend they're going on his friend, I think his friend has a girlfriend, and the girlfriend is bringing up a friend for his friend. So And it's oh God, it's at the restaurant that is completely in the dark. And so this is their first date. So you've got that going on. Then they come out and they're hitting it off. Domhnall Gleeson is the guy, and Rachel McAdams is the girl. And you can see they're hitting it off. And so he's very excited. I think he gets her phone number, and he goes home, and the guy he's living with, the playwright, they encounter each other, and the playwright is like devastated. His play opened. The main actor, the star, screwed up the big scene, the big moment, and he is just devastated. Well, I mean, the guy doesn't know it, but he's talking to somebody who can fix that. And the kid does. He doesn't particularly like this guy, but he does his thing. We go back in time. Instead of going to the restaurant with his buddy, he goes to the play to help the actor get through the moment that he screwed up. So now the play is a hit. But he doesn't have her number in his phone because he didn't meet her because he was at the play. He is flipping out. So he knows that, I guess they talk, she liked, I think who was the model? I think, Twiggy. I think it was Twiggy. She likes her. So he sees in the paper that there is something at a museum. Twiggy's going to be there, or there's a display of pictures of her, something. So he's like, she's going to be there. I'm going there so I can see her. I will find her there. And he takes his sister with him. They're walking around, and somehow he sees her. She's there. Now, you got to remember, he knows her, but she does not know him. So it's not working well, because he keeps going up to her, and it's just a disaster. So he has to keep redoing it, going back in time to find it. Finally, there's a party. She's with a friend. The girl he likes is with a friend. And the friend, there's a party. And, yes. There's a party. But something happens. And he has to keep going, redoing it, because he's not getting all of the information, because he's found out she has a boyfriend. So he's trying to get information on this party is the party she meets her boyfriend at. So he keeps redoing it, because he's got to get specific information. When the party is, he's the time that they met because he's got to get to the party before she meets him, the other guy. So finally we get this done. He's at the party. And remember, he's got all kind of information on her. So he's when you meet somebody and they have info on you, it can go two ways. It can be creepy or it can be really wonderful. And he lucked out and it goes on the wonderful side. So he gets her out of the party. He says, let's go somewhere. I can tell you're not happy. As they're walking out the door, in walks the guy who would have been her new boyfriend. But he has gotten her out just in time. I think they talk, they say something. Then he goes on into the party and they're off. I think they go eat or something. So, okay, then there's the sleep together. And he hasn't quite mastered the whole bedroom scene. So the first time is not so cool. So he goes and does it again. And then something else doesn't go right. And he goes and does it again. And now he's got it down. And it's like, yeah, 2 thumbs up on this one. So you just keep going through their life, and you just see him at these moments. He does it when he's going to ask her to marry him. And he's got this whole thing set up. It's in their apartment, and he's got these musicians out in the living room playing music while he goes in to propose to her. She likes to sleep. That's what we get. And she's in bed. She likes to sleep. I don't know what that's about. So she's sleeping and he wants her to get up, and I don't know if he wants her to come out to the living room, but there's like a wedding. It comes up, the proposal, I can't remember exactly how it happens, but she's like, oh yeah, if you're gonna ask me to marry you, yeah, it just has to be really quiet. I don't want a big deal about it. So out he goes, he gets rid of the musicians, and he does a redo. And now it's just the two of them. And he asks her to marry him, and she says, oh yes. And I think she makes a comment about, I'm so glad that you didn't make a big deal about it or something. Anyway, so it's kind of cool because I like it. I like the movie because once they meet, remember it was at that restaurant where you eat in the dark. Once they meet, there's no stuff going on. I mean, usually with this kind of love story things, you've got somebody sleeping with somebody else, or somebody likes somebody else, and then the other person's pissed, and there's arguing, and there's separation, and then come back together, and no, there's none of that. They meet, and they are together. I mean, it takes some finagling on his part because he's got to go back in time to fix stuff. But they're just together, and they're going on living their life. She meets the parents. He does a couple of moves. They have a kid, but then he has to redo some history for something else that happens. So he comes home. I think they had a little girl. He does his redo, and he comes home, and they have a little boy. it's, it's just these little funny, cute things that happen, but they stay together. This is what I like about this movie. They're once they meet, yeah, it's them, and it's kind of nice because we're going on and we're seeing these moments, but at the end of the film, there's a voiceover that he's doing, and he says, "You know, I've come to realize that if I just do it right the first time, I don't need to go back and fix it." So, yeah, he's saying, I don't really do that much anymore because I'm doing it right the first time, which is kind of cool. I like that. But you see their relationship just grow and mature without any mess or drama. And I think it's because of my Asperger's. That kind of stuff. It's in a movie, and I'm not involved with it, so yeah. But no, and it's for love, for relationships. I like it to be you meet, you get together, you fall in love, and you're together, and you stay together. Maybe it's because that's something I can't have. I'm not sure why, but I just like that. And actually, there's not enough of that. So I know that's why I like this movie. About Time is the title of it. And it's Rachel McAdams and Domhnall Gleeson. So if I've piqued your curiosity, if you like those kind of films, it's got that little quiet touch of magic, of fantasy, of otherworldly kind of stuff going on. If that works for you, this is a great movie. See you next time.